Ah, Airlie. Almost sounds like something to do with air.
That might be because you're up in the air, but actually, there is quite a history behind that name.
Well, you're a wealth of knowledge. Tell me more.
Well, about 1877, the farmers of Dayton and Sheridan in this general area formed a railroad to get products to market. Some Scottish investors took over the line and named the company after their president, the Earl of Airlie. So there you have it. For a while there were stores and sawmills and schools, and the town really flourished. But when the railroad business stopped, the town eventually disappeared, leaving
one of the greenest little microclimates I have ever seen. It is spectacular. Mary Olson is the owner. Tell me, Mr. Know-It-All, how did she wind up here?
Well, I don't know. Let's find out.
I was transferred to Oregon in my previous job, and I fell in love with the state and the wine industry. And I started looking at various properties because in my mind I had this dream that I was going to own a vineyard. And when I first came upon Airlie, it just is a beautiful vineyard. I just fell in love with the vineyard. Have 34 acres of grapes. And one of the unique things about Airlie is the trellis system here. We have a Geneva double hanging curtain, and that brings the grapes up to the top of the trellis system, and they're exposed to more sunlight as well as you get good ventilation through the vineyard. We grow 7 varieties of wine grapes here. Our sweeter wines are Riesling and our Müller-Thurgau. Then we make a Gewürztraminer, a little drier in style, just a hint of sweetness. We have our very fruit-forward Pinot Gris in our dry white wine, as well as our barrel-fermented Chardonnay. And then we have a Maréchal Foch in a red wine, which is a medium-bodied red wine that many people enjoy. And last but not least is our beloved Pinot Noir. You see it from the beginning to when you're pouring the glass of wine for a customer to taste. And the best part is when they taste it and say, I like this. This is why we live in Oregon. It's for the Pinot Noir. Traditionally, balloonists in France would carry bottles of wine with them. And that's how the balloon got on our bottle, because balloonists would carry the bottle of wine, and when they'd crush a few crops in the field, when they landed their balloon, they'd give the farmer a bottle of wine. And in fact, did you guys bring any wine with you today?
No, but I hope we're taking some with us.
In Oregon, we have an awful lot of wine events that we're also featured at. And various times through the year, you can find us at wine and food festivals. Wine and food are meant to be poured and eaten together, and that's what we do. We're growing by leaps and bounds, and we ship our wine from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine, from coast to coast. I have a winemaker, Susie Gagne, who joined me when I bought the winery in 1997.
I think I'm really fortunate in having found my dream job. My husband was very supportive. I went to school at Davis and got my degree. Kind of answered an ad in '97 and talked Mary into hiring me, and here I am.
What exactly do you call this thing, Susie?
Oh, this is the wine thief?
Oh, no. I was just taking it back. I found out I was taking it back to the tasting room.
Right. Susie, I think it's great that there's women winemakers in Oregon now. What do you think?
Well, obviously, I think it's great for me. I just love making wine in Oregon and the industry all in general. I know, Mary, what do you think about the women?
Making wine in Oregon? Well, I'm just glad they're making wine at Airlie. That basically a lot has been written on women's palates. They really belong in the wine industry because they have the skills for it. And I know that this one has the skills for it because the customers tell me that in the products that we're producing. So I'm very pleased to have Susie as my winemaker.
Well, I'll drink to that. Here's to you, Susie.
Thank you.
And here's to you, Mary.
Thank you very much. There they go. Bye. And so I just fell in love with the wine industry in the state and decided that this is where I'd really like to grow some deep roots. So having transferred 14 times, this is where my roots are settled forever.